Tune Yards with Blob Opera.
The trees are in the meadow. The cars are in the trees. The people aren't anywhere to be found. Better take one of these. The trees are in the meadow. The cars are in the pigs. The people aren't anywhere to be found. The grave digger digs. Look into my eyes. Honey, look into my eyes. I see you, honey, look into my eyes. I know it, honey, look into my eyes. Quiet, quiet, look into my eyes. I know you, honey, look into my eyes. I feel you, honey, look into my eyes. Oh, you're hypnotized, hypnotized, hypnotized. Silent as a citizen. City streets of ghosts and past. They used to laugh in pens here. And terrace flowers cast. Oh, look into my eyes. I know you, honey, look into my eyes. I see you, honey, look into my eyes. I know it, honey, look into my eyes. Yeah, yeah, look into my eyes. I know you, honey, look into my eyes. I feel you, honey, look into my eyes. Oh, you're hypnotized, hypnotized. That mirror draws down your head. You think the image is real. Your tears are melting your face, but you forgot how to feel. Remember your lungs, remember your lungs, remember your lungs, remember your lungs. The weight of your bones, remember your lungs. Wake up and look into my Look into my Look into my eyes. I see you, honey. Look into my eyes. I know it, honey. Look into my eyes. Quiet, quiet. Look into my eyes. Oh, I know you, honey. Look into my eyes. Oh, I feel you, honey. Look into my eyes. Oh, you're hypnotized, hypnotized. Got that thing to go, got a locked and loaded and ready to go. You got lots of things to go on. You got the shadow, follow the phone. You got that thing to go, got a locked and loaded and ready to go. You got lots of things to go on. You got the shadow, follow the phone. You got that thing to go, got a locked and loaded and ready to go. Your hands. Never be a gangster. Anger in his heart, but he'll never be a gangster. Moving to his neighborhood, he'll never make a sound. What's a boy to do if he'll never be a rasta? Singing from his heart, he'll never be a rasta. If you move into his neighborhood, he'll never make a sound. If you move into his neighborhood, Batman, no, I ain't never in my hood, 'cause dangerous rolling out the wood. Batman, but you'll never make a sound. Batman boy, never move to my hood, cause danger is crawling out the wood. Batman boy, never move to my hood, cause danger is crawling. Batman boy, never move to my hood, cause danger is crawling out the wood. Batman boy, never move to my hood, cause danger is crawling. Thank you so much. We're Tune-Yards. Thank you so much to Blob Opera for performing with us. You're all beautiful. Thank you to Google Arts and Culture for having us. And we just hope you have a wonderful I.O. Thanks.
Please remember to fill out your evaluation form and leave it at the collection bin in the back of the room.
Yeah, that's a big help for people to figure out just how bad our talk was.
Yes, we do have a limited supply of CDs.
It's great to be here. I'm going to be talking to you today about HTML5.
Nothing brings joy to my heart more than robotic androids dancing and singing.
5, 4, 3, 2. Good morning. This is Google I/O.
I am thrilled to be here
at the Shoreline Amphitheater.
This is the coolest thing.
Excited about the future and what's coming.
You can build with the community.
We want to give you the tools to create entirely new technological capabilities.
This is the tattoo. Good, right?
There's always endless discoveries. It's great to have a platform you can get to new outcomes.
Things previously thought to be impossible.
Finally, I'm here.
May in fact be possible.
I hope you all find some inspiration to keep building for everyone.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be back at I/O. We are coming to you live from our campus here in Mountain View. Of course, it's not quite the same without our developer community sitting here in person. It's another reminder of the times we are living in. The pandemic has brought us together in a shared experience for more than a year. But now we are seeing that common experience diverge. In some places, people are beginning to live their lives again as cases decline. Other places like Brazil and my home country of India are going through their most difficult moments yet. We are thinking of you and hoping for better days ahead. COVID-19 has deeply affected every community. It's also inspired coordination between public and private sectors and across international borders. At Google, we launched products and initiatives to help one another through this time, to help students and teachers continue their learning from anywhere, to help small businesses adapt and grow, and to get emergency relief and vaccines to communities in need. We work closely with many nonprofit organizations around the globe, and you can go to the link behind me to support their excellent work. At Google, the most fundamental way we help is by providing access to high-quality information. Authoritative information from 170 public health organizations around the world, including the CDC, the FDA, and the WHO. We're also focused on helping people find accurate information about vaccines, including the hours and locations for vaccine sites in many countries on Google Maps and Search. COVID-related information has been viewed hundreds of billions of times across our products and platforms. It continues to help people make decisions and keep their families safe. I/O has always been a celebration of technology and its ability to improve lives. And I remain optimistic that technology can help us address the challenges we face together. So in that spirit, let's get started. At Google, the past year has given renewed purpose to our mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. We continue to approach that mission with a singular goal: building a more helpful Google for everyone. That means being helpful in moments that matter, and it means giving you the tools to increase your knowledge, success, health, and happiness. Sometimes it's about helping in little moments that add up to big changes. Recently, we added 150,000 kilometers of bike lanes in Google Maps. We're also introducing 2 new features. First, new eco-friendly routes. Using our understanding of road and traffic conditions, Google Maps will soon give you the option to take the most fuel-efficient route. At scale, this has potential to significantly reduce car emissions and fuel consumption. Second, safer routing. Powered by AI, Maps can identify road, weather, and traffic conditions where you're likely to have to suddenly brake. We aim to reduce up to 100 million of these events every year. Sometimes it's about helping in the big moments, like helping 150 million students and educators keep learning over the last year with Google Classroom, or keeping students connected with affordable laptops. Chromebooks are now the #1 device globally in K-12 education. In Japan, 40% of local governments chose to deploy Chromebooks to every child in grades 1 through 9. And here in California, we worked with the Department of Education to provide thousands of Chromebooks to students in need. One of the biggest ways we can build a more helpful Google for everyone is by reimagining the future of work. We have seen work transform in unprecedented ways, and it is no longer just a place. Over the last year, offices and coworkers have been replaced by kitchen countertops and pets. With so many people now working from home, access to collaboration tools has never been more critical. In 2006, we introduced Docs and Sheets to help people to collaborate in real time. A year later, we added Google Slides. All of this is now part of Google Workspace, which builds on more than 15 years of creating ways to work together. Today, we are announcing a new experience in Google Workspace to enable richer collaboration. We call this Smart Canvas. And to tell you more, here is Javier.
Thanks, Sundar. And good morning, everybody. With Smart Canvas, we're bringing together the content and connections that transform collaboration into a richer, better experience. For over a decade, we've been pushing documents away from being just digital pieces of paper and toward collaborative, linked content inspired by the web. Smart Canvas is our next big step. Let's see how a distributed team uses Smart Canvas to plan an important marketing campaign. The launch date is just 2 months away, so Adu starts a document and quickly adds a brainstorm table. With app mentions, he pulls in the right people and generates a checklist to assign action items. These simple actions connect the team's plan to people, dates, and tasks, making their collaboration richer and more effective as they drive toward their launch. Now that he's shared the document, everyone starts dropping in their ideas. As they continue to brainstorm, the assisted writing feature suggests that they change the word chairman to chairperson in the document to avoid a gendered term. New assisted writing capabilities in Google Workspace offer suggestions so you can communicate more effectively. Not only are we helping with language suggestions, we're also making it easy to bring the voices and faces of your team directly into the collaboration experience to help them share ideas and solve problems together. Up to now, Adu and his team have been collaborating in the dock and scheduling separate Google Meet calls to review their progress. But starting today, you can easily present the doc, sheet, or slide you're working on directly into a Google Meet call. Now Adu can join his colleagues with just one click. And this fall, we're excited to bring Meet directly into docs, sheets, and slides for the first time. This will enable teams like Adu's to actually see and hear each other while they're collaborating. Now, they'll never skip a beat. And to keep that collaboration flowing in the meeting, the team used the new responsive voting table to see which ideas for the campaign are the most popular ones. With all the progress they've made together, Adu's initial document has evolved into a highly interactive, always actionable plan. And the team stayed connected every step of the way. That's the power of Smart Canvas. 2 months later, it's time to launch the new campaign. Adu and his team are joining from offices, from home, and everywhere in between, connecting across time zones and continents. To help both office and remote teammates remain an equal part of the conversation, no matter where they are, we're launching Companion Mode in Google Meet. Companion Mode gives each of Adu's teammates in the office their own video tile, so they can stay connected to their remote colleagues and everyone can participate in polls, chat, and Q&A in real time. Companion Mode is coming to Google Meet later this year. Teammates can also be heard wherever they work with noise cancellation powered by the best of Google's AI. And machine learning in Google Meet to automatically adjust camera zoom and lighting, ensuring that everyone can be seen across all environments. We've also made it easier to customize views and share content so teams can focus on what matters most in the moment. This means that when Adu presents to the rest of his team, he can easily arrange people's faces to gauge their reactions while staying focused on his content. And his colleagues across the globe can follow along with live captions, even translations into language. He can feel separated by time zones, languages, devices his team is using. Instead, Google Meet's immersive experience, he feels connected and in the moment. With Smart Canvas and these powerful enhancements to Google Meet, we're transforming collaboration in Google Workspace to help people succeed at work, at home, and in the classroom. Previously, the fully integrated experience in Google Workspace was available only to our customers, but it will soon be available to everyone, from college students to small businesses to friends and neighbors wanting to stay connected and get more done together. Stay tuned for more details in the coming weeks. And now, I'll hand it back to Sundar.
Thanks, Javier. Those were exciting examples of how computer science and AI can make us more helpful across our products. Google Search was built on the insight that understanding links between web pages leads to dramatically better search results. We've made remarkable advances over the past 22 years, and search helps billions of people. We first trained a production system to automatically label images, a step change in computers understanding information. And it allowed us to imagine and launch Google Photos. Today, we can surface and share a memory, reminding you of some of the best moments in your life. Last month alone, more than 2 billion memories were viewed. Image recognition also means you can use Google Lens to take a photo of a math problem. Wish I had this when I was in school. Lens is used more than 3 billion times each month. We can now be as helpful with images as we are with text. Machine learning has also improved how computers comprehend and communicate with human voices. As Javier shared, that's why we can caption conversations in Google Meet, and why Live Caption on Android can automatically caption anything running on your smartphone locally. It generates 250,000 hours of captioning every day. Breakthrough technology from DeepMind called WaveNet increased the quality of computer-generated speech, leading to more natural and fluid interactions. WaveNet allowed us to create and deploy 51 voices across Google Assistant. Together, the advances in AI I just spoke about across translation, images, and voice improved the search experience for billions of people. They also enabled us to make a huge leap forward in how computers process natural language. In 2017, we first introduced the world to transformers, a novel machine learning approach for better natural language understanding. Transformers became the foundation for many other breakthroughs, like AlphaFold and BERT, which we introduced in 2019. BERT considers the full context of a word by looking at the words that come before and after, leading to one of our most significant quality improvements across Google Search, and enabling us to respond to queries with more helpful answers. In this case, realizing that the question was about parking on a hill without a curb. We have revolutionized the ability of computers to understand natural language. Yet, despite the incredible power of computers, there are still moments like this.
Sorry, I don't understand.
This is because language is endlessly complex. We use it to tell stories, crack jokes, and share ideas. We continuously pull from concepts we've learned over the course of our lives. The richness and flexibility of language make it one of humanity's greatest tools and one of computer science's greatest challenges. If someone asks me if the temperature in the room is okay, and I say I'm freezing, they know that I'm very cold, not literally freezing. Or if someone says, "What's the weather like today?" I don't respond, "It's 70 degrees, sunny, and a 12% chance of rain." I'd probably say, "It's starting to feel like summer. I might eat lunch outside." Sensible responses keep conversations going and allow them to end up in a completely different place from where they started. Even if I began by talking about the weather, we may end up talking about football. Today, I'm excited to share our latest breakthrough in natural language understanding, LaMDA. It's a language model for dialogue applications, and it's open domain, which means it's designed to converse on any topic. And while it's still in research and development, we've been using it internally to explore novel interactions. For example, say you wanted to learn about one of my favorite planets, Pluto. LaMDA already understands quite a lot about Pluto and millions of other topics. Let's listen to a conversation the team had with Pluto a few days ago.
I'm so curious about you.
I sense your excitement. Ask me anything.
Tell me what I would see if I visited.
You would get to see a massive canyon, some frozen icebergs, geysers, and some craters.
It sounds beautiful.
I assure you it is worth the trip. However, you need to bring your coat, because it gets really cold.
I'll keep that in mind. Hey, I was wondering, have you ever had any visitors?
Yes, I have had some. The most notable was New Horizons, the spacecraft that visited me.
That must have been exciting.
The team that created New Horizons was very excited to see me. I also sent them back a picture of myself since I had not been seen up close before.
That's so great. What else do you wish people knew about you?
I wish people knew that I am not just a random ice ball. I am actually a beautiful planet.
Well, I think you're beautiful.
I am glad to hear that. I don't get the recognition I deserve. Sometimes people refer to me as just a dwarf planet.
Don't let it bother you. You're amazing.
Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Thanks for talking with me.
Anytime, I am always open for people to chat. I hope you have a great day.
I spent some time with my son conversing with Pluto, and it's magical. We had a lot of fun learning about space together. Let's break down what made it feel so natural. First, learn concepts. As you saw, the model talked about the New Horizons spacecraft and the coldness of space. Lambda synthesized these concepts from its training data. These concepts were not hand-programmed in the model. Because none of the responses were predefined, Lambda answered responses, keeping the dialogue open-ended. Natural conversations are generative, and they never take the same path twice. And Lambda is able to carry a conversation no matter what we talk about. You can have another conversation without retraining the model. Let's see what happened when we talked to a paper airplane.
What's it like being thrown through the air?
It's quite the experience, actually. The wind blowing against you, and the trees flying past are quite the sight. You never know where you'll land either.
What's the worst place you've ever landed?
That would have to be in a puddle. I was just barely still intact, so I was stuck there for a few minutes. It was quite annoying.
Oh, that sounds awful. Were you able to fly again?
Thankfully, I was. I had a few minor injuries to my wing, but you can't really tell unless you know what to look for.
What's the secret to a really good paper airplane?
Well, my good friend, I must first ask you to specify what you mean by good. Some may think it's how far it goes, some may think it's how straight it goes, and some may think it's how flat it lands. So what do you think?
I care the most about distance.
Then I would have to say a nice wide wingspan is what you'll want. Also, the paper needs to be really firm.
What's the farthest you've ever flown?
I've flown over about 1,500 feet. The wind was perfect that day.
Wow, that's really far. That must have been quite a throw.
It was. I was actually thrown from a hot air balloon, believe it or not.
That's so cool. What did the world look like from out there?
It's actually a lot different than it looks from the ground. The world is so large with its vast oceans and mountains. It really puts things into perspective.
Yeah, it's important to keep perspective. Hey, I'm wondering, do you have anything you want to share with the people that are watching at home?
I do. I just want them to know that if the wind is perfect, and you're made of the right materials, you can go absolutely anywhere.
It's really impressive to see how Lambda can carry on a conversation about any topic. It's amazing how sensible and interesting the conversation is. Yet, it's still early research, so it doesn't get everything right. Sometimes, it can give nonsensical responses, imagining Pluto doing flips, or playing fetch with its favorite ball, the moon. Other times, it just doesn't keep the conversation going. At Google, we have been researching and developing language models for many years. We have focused on ensuring Lambda meets our incredibly high standards on fairness, accuracy, safety, and privacy. So from concept all the way to design, we are making sure it's developed consistent with our AI principles. We believe Lambda's natural conversation capabilities have the potential to make information and computing radically more accessible and easier to use. We look forward to incorporating better conversational features into products like Google Assistant, Search, and Workspace. We're also exploring how to give capabilities to developers and enterprise customers. Lambda is a huge step forward in natural conversation, but it is still trained only on text. When people communicate with each other, they do it across images, text, audio, and video. So we need to build models that allow people to naturally ask questions across different types of information. These are called multimodal models. Let's say we want a model to recognize all facets of a road trip. That could mean the words road trip written or spoken in any language, images, sounds, and videos, and concepts associated with road trips, such as weather and directions. So you can imagine one day planning a road trip and asking Google to find a route with beautiful mountain views. You can also use this to search for something within a video. For example, when you say, "Show me the part where the lion roars at sunset," we will get you to that exact moment in a video. It's still early days, but later on in the keynote, you'll hear from Prabhakar about the progress we are making towards more natural and intuitive ways of interacting with search. Translation, image recognition, voice recognition, text-to-speech, transformers. All of this work laid the foundation for complex models like Lambda and multimodal. Our compute infrastructure is how we drive and sustain these advances, and tensor processing units are a big part of that. Today, I'm excited to announce our next generation, the TPU v4. These are powered by the v4 chip, which is more than twice as fast as the v3 chip. TPUs are connected together into supercomputers called pods. A single v4 pod contains 4,096 v4 chips, and each pod has 10x the interconnect bandwidth per chip at scale compared to any other networking technology. This makes it possible for a TPU v4 pod to deliver more than 1 exaflop, 10 to the 18th power floating point operations per second of computing power. Think about it this way. If 10 million people were on their laptops right now, then all of those laptops put together would almost match the computing power of 1 exaflop. This is the fastest system we've ever deployed at Google, and a historic milestone for us. Previously, to get an exaflop, you needed to build a custom supercomputer. But we already have many of these deployed today. And we'll soon have dozens of TPU v4 pods in our data centers, many of which will be operating at or near 90% carbon-free energy. And our TPU v4 pods will be available to our cloud customers later this year. It's tremendously exciting to see this pace of innovation. As we look further into the future, there are types of problems that classical computing will not be able to solve in a reasonable time. Quantum computing represents a fundamental shift because it harnesses the properties of quantum mechanics and gives us the best chance of understanding the natural world. Achieving our quantum milestone was a tremendous accomplishment, but we are still at the very beginning of a multi-year journey. One problem we face today is that our physical qubits are very fragile. Even cosmic rays from outer space can destroy quantum information. To solve more complex problems, our next milestone is to create an error-corrected logical qubit. It's simply a collection of physical qubits stable enough to hold quantum information for a long period of time. We start by reducing the error rate of our physical qubits, then combining 1,000 physical qubits to create a single logical qubit, and then scaling that up to 1,000 logical qubits, at which point we will have created an error-corrected quantum computer. Today, we are focused on enabling scientists and developers to access beyond classical computational resources. But we hope to one day create an error-corrected quantum computer. And success could mean everything from increasing battery efficiency to creating more sustainable energy to improved drug discovery and so much more. The roadmap begins in our new data center, which we are calling the Quantum AI Campus. Let's step inside. Michael, are you there?
Hey, Sundar, how's it going? Yeah, I'm here, and I'm excited to learn why I'm here, and I'm guessing that's why he's here.
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
I'm Eric, lead engineer here. I'd like to welcome you to one of the most powerful quantum computing facilities in the world.
Oh, thank you, thank you. What's this? Can I touch it?
Yeah, that's a quantum processor. And inside are these actual physical qubits.
Oh, hey, little guy.
Qubits are the fundamental building blocks of quantum computers, but they're incredibly fragile.
Oh.
Even the tiniest particles can disrupt their operation.
Right.
Which is why we work so hard to create the optimal environment to keep them stable.
Right, and I'm guessing the optimal environment doesn't include like Cheeto dust. So I'm just gonna put this puppy
it
right
doesn't.
back.
Thanks. Let me show you where the clean ones go.
Oh.
So we built this campus to inspire all of our quantum mechanics and to show the world what the future of computing looks like.
Good for you, dude. Look at you, dude.
Thanks.
That's a cool lamp.
It's not a lamp. This is actually a cryostat, and you're looking at the inside of a quantum computer.
Wow, cryostat. I love that word, cryostat. I'm guessing people want to know, what makes a cryostat a cryostat? Eric?
Well, everything you see here, from the wiring to the aluminum, copper, and gold metal stages, have been chosen to create a cold and quiet environment for our quantum processors to operate.
Right. And in English?
It's a fridge for our qubits.
Right. And how cold are we talking about?
We approach near absolute zero, 10 millikelvin to be precise.
Wow.
Which means that parts of our lab are some of the coldest places in the universe.
Wow, colder than Canada?
Yeah, colder than Canada. Well, it's not just temperature that's important. In fact, we want to remove all distractions from our qubits.
Right.
Including unwanted electrical and magnetic signals.
Yeah. Who wants that, right?
Well, let me show you what the final product looks like.
Is this a cryostat?
No, that's not a cryostat.
What about this? Is this a cryostat?
That's not a cryostat.
No?
This is a cryostat.
Nice.
In fact, this is a fully assembled quantum computer.
Yeah? So where's the keyboard?
Well, there's no keyboard, but it contains everything you've just seen inside and custom control electronics, all of which were designed and built by our team here at Google.
Wait. Is this a Bob Ross? Is he on the team? Tell me he's on the team.
He's not on the team.
Okay.
But this mural is our homage to Mother Nature. See, quantum is the language of nature, and we're learning to speak it here. It will enable us to run precise simulations of the natural world, unlocking answers that would otherwise remain unknown.
Okay, so let me see if I get this right. Okay, so these qubits are really smart, right? But they're really picky about their work environment, so you got to put them in a lamp, right? But even then, they're like, no, I don't want anybody eating any Cheetos around me. And they're like, I'm sorry, okay, I didn't know, right? So then you got to wrap them in like this Bob Ross blanket of love. Right? And then you keep them there until they can tell us how to think like the Earth. Am I right?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay, you know what this is? This is the power button. I want to start it.
We're not quite there yet. I'm glad you're on board.
Okay.
To date, we've reached the first milestone, beyond classical computational capabilities.
This is us.
Yeah, we're here. Everything you've seen here today is what we're using to build to our next milestone, an error-corrected logical qubit.
Right.
And from there, we'll tile thousands of those together to reach our ultimate goal, an error-corrected quantum computer.
Right. That's my goal too.
Well, you're in luck. We're building a team to assemble all the right ingredients, all right here in the Quantum AI campus that you just helped us unveil. So thank you very much, Michael.
No, you know what? Thank you. And thank you for everyone that's joining us. I want to leave you with a couple of my favorite words that I just learned. One of them being qubits, qubits, cryostat, right?
By three important principles. With one of the world's most advanced security infrastructures, our products are secure by default. We strictly uphold responsible data practices, so every product we build is private by design. And we create easy-to-use privacy and security settings so you are in control. I'd like to invite Jen on stage to share some examples of how we apply these principles and make every day safer with Google.
Thanks, Sundar. We believe that protecting your privacy starts with the world's most advanced security. It seems like every day we hear about another cyber attack that puts emails and personal data at risk. To keep our users safe, everything we build is secure by default. Each of our products is protected with advanced AI-driven technologies. In fact, every day, Gmail automatically blocks more than 100 million phishing attempts. Google Photos encrypts 4 billion photos. And Google Play Protect runs security scans on 100 billion installed apps around the world. But the single most common security vulnerability today is still bad passwords. Consumer research has shown that 2/3 of people admit to using the same password across accounts, which multiplies their risk. Ultimately, we're on a mission to create a password-free future. That's why no one is doing more than we are to advance phone-based authentication. And in the meantime, we're focused on helping everyone use strong, unique passwords for every account. Our password manager creates, remembers, saves, and autofills passwords for you. It's already used by over 500 million people. But we want to free everyone from password pain. That's why today we're announcing 4 new upgrades that make our password manager more helpful. First, we're making it easier than ever to get started with a simple tool that imports passwords saved in other password managers. Next, we'll have deeper integration across both Chrome and Android, so your secure passwords go with you from sites to apps. Third, automatic password alerts will let you know if we detect any of your saved passwords have become compromised in a third-party breach. And lastly, what I'm especially excited about, a quick fix feature in Chrome, where the assistant will help you navigate directly to your compromised accounts and change your passwords in seconds. Our continued investment in our password manager makes it just one of the many ways Google is the safer way to sign into anything online. Another core principle is ensuring that each of our products is private by design. This means continuously making thoughtful decisions about when, how, and why data is used in our products, including data that's used for ads. Our principles drive us to draw a strict line between what's in and what's out. For example, we never sell your personal information to anyone. We never use the content you store in apps like Gmail, Photos, and Drive for ads purposes. And we never use sensitive information to personalize ads, like health, race, religion, or sexual orientation. It's simply off limits. And while we've always believed that ads play an important role in supporting a free and open web for everyone, we're equally committed to making the web more private and secure. Through the Open Source Privacy Sandbox initiative, we're collaborating with publishers, content creators, advertisers, and industry organizations like the W3C to develop new privacy-preserving solutions that will shape the future of online advertising. Making our products private by design also drives us to build groundbreaking computing technologies that enable personalized experiences while protecting your private information. One technology we've been pioneering is differential privacy, which allows us to use large aggregated data sets while guaranteeing that your individual data can never be identified as yours. No one has scaled the use of differential privacy more than we have. To help developers everywhere use differential privacy, we created the world's largest open source library of differentially private algorithms, which has advanced so many important fields, from cancer research to census analytics. Another important technology is federated learning, invented here at Google in 2016. It enables machine learning models to be trained centrally without any raw data leaving your device. And since building it into Gboard and Messages, we've saved people countless hours of typing with helpful suggestions. This is just one of the ways we build for privacy everywhere that computing happens, both in the cloud and on device. And speaking of devices, to make billions of Android phones private by design, we developed Android's Private Compute Core. It's uniquely open source and designed to privately process and protect sensitive data. It powers features like live caption without sharing audio data with Google or any other apps. No one else offers this kind of technically enforced, verifiable privacy. And the Android team will be coming up in a bit to share more. These are just a few of the ways we're building the most advanced privacy-preserving technologies into our products to keep your data private, safe, and secure. We know that a big part of feeling safe online is having control over your data. Privacy is personal. So we build powerful privacy and security settings that let people choose what's right for them. You can find them in your Google account, which saw over 3 billion visits last year. We also know that some controls are most helpful when they're built right into the app, like when we added an incognito mode in Search, Maps, and YouTube. Today, we're announcing a few new controls that you'll see in our most popular apps. For example, people tell us they sometimes wish they could easily delete the last thing they searched. And we heard you. So now, just tap your profile picture to access your menu and immediately delete recent search history from your account. We're also working to make privacy controls more accessible in Maps. Now, when you see places you visited in your timeline, we'll remind you that it's because you turned on location history, which you can easily turn off right there in your timeline. And lastly, we're rolling out locked folder in Photos, first on Google Pixels and coming to more Android devices throughout the year. Photos you add to this passcode-protected space are saved separately, so they won't show up as you scroll through Google Photos or any other apps on your device. This feature would have been helpful for me last year when we surprised our kids with a new puppy, and we needed to hide the photos before we brought Splash home. As Sundar said, there's nothing more important than keeping you safe online. Building products that are secure by default, private by design, and that give you control is how we ensure that every day you're safer with Google. Just as we've engineered advanced computing solutions to protect your privacy, we continue to think about future advances in AI and their potential for making our products even more helpful. Not surprisingly, so much of what we do starts with search. And next, you'll hear more about this from Prabhakar.
Thanks, Jen. Today, we are excited to share how our advances in AI are enabling us to understand the world more deeply than ever before, opening up helpful experiences for you across Google Search, Maps, Shopping, and Photos. Let's start with Search. 20 years ago, Google was just 10 blue links, connecting people to the information they needed from the millions of web pages out there. Since then, we've continued to innovate to understand new forms of information like images, videos, places, and more. All of this is in pursuit of our mission to make information accessible and useful. As Sundar mentioned, early research with Lambda and multimodality is pushing the boundaries of natural language understanding. And today, I'm excited to share how we'll be bringing some of these research advances to Google Search with our multitask unified model, or MUM, as we like to call it. Like BERT, it's built on the transformer architecture, but it turns up the dial. You see, MUM is 1,000 times more powerful than BERT. But what makes this technology groundbreaking is its ability to multitask in order to unlock information in new ways. Here are a few tasks it can handle at the same time. It can acquire deep knowledge of the world, It can understand language at a time. And then what makes Mum even more amazing is that it's multimodal, which means it can simultaneously understand different forms of information like text, images, and videos. We've already started some internal pilots to see the types of queries it might be able to solve and the billions of topics it might help you explore. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say you're an avid hiker planning your next adventure. You might ask, I've hiked Mount Adams and now want to hike Mount Fuji next fall. What should I do differently to prepare? This is a question you could casually ask a friend, but search engines today can't answer it directly because it's so conversational and nuanced. Mum is changing the game. With its language understanding capabilities, it would know you're looking to compare two mountains and also understand that prepare could include things like fitness training for the terrain and hiking gear for fall weather. Then, it's able to surface useful insights based on its deep knowledge of the world. Here, it's highlighting that Mount Fuji is roughly the same elevation as Mount Adams, but fall is the rainy season on Mount Fuji, so you might need a waterproof jacket. It would also give you pointers to go deeper on topics, like how to prepare the right gear with articles, videos, and images from across the web. Now, a huge limitation of accessing information is the language it's written in. If there are insights about Mount Fuji in Japanese, you might not know they exist if you don't search in Japanese. But Mum can transfer language across multiple languages to give you a richer, more comprehensive answer. But it doesn't stop there. Because Mum is multimodal, it can understand different types of information simultaneously. So now imagine taking a photo of your hiking boots and asking, can I use these to hike Mount Fuji? Mum would be able to understand the content of the image and the intent behind your query, let you know that your hiking boots would just work fine, and then point you to a list of recommended gear in a Mount Fuji blog. While we're in the early days of exploring this new technology, we're excited about its potential to solve more complex questions, no matter how you ask them. But we're already finding other ways to apply AI to bring you new information. Take Google Lens, which lets you search what you see from your camera, your photos, or right from your search bar. Around the world, people use Lens to translate over 1 billion words every day. This translation feature has been especially useful for students, many of whom might be learning in a language they're less comfortable with. So now, thanks to our Lens team in Zurich, we're rolling out a new capability that combines visual translation with educational content from the web to help people learn in more than 100 languages. For instance, you can easily snap a photo of a science problem, and Lens will provide learning resources in your preferred language. Let's take a look at how a student in Indonesia is using this new feature.
Nama aku Siti Lutisa, dipanggil Mamai. Aku kelas 9 SMP. Tentunya aku ingin menjadi ahli bahasa dan seorang dosen bahasa Inggris. Tapi kegiatan belajar di masa pandemi ini untuk aku sendiri agak lebih susah. Orang tuaku juga tidak bisa bahasa Inggris. Jadi, mereka tidak bisa bantu aku kalau kesulitan.
Dia tanya ke orang, ibu kurang paham.
Google Lens memudahkan kegiatan belajar di rumah. Misalnya aku mendapat tugas pelajaran matematik yang bertuliskan bahasa Inggris. Gak hanya translate, dari situ aku juga bisa terhubung dan langsung mencari tahu apa terjemahan dan solusi untuk mengerjakan pelajaran matematika itu. Untuk saat ini aku sedang berusaha keras untuk belajar lebih tekun, lebih rajin. Saya mau menggunakan pengetahuan saya untuk membantu masyarakat. Saya mau jadi anak yang membanggakan orang tua.
Iya, senang. Ibu senang sekali belajar tidak pantang menyerah gitu.
It's always inspiring to see stories like Mamai's. And it brings to life the power of visual information, especially for learning. That's why we brought augmented reality to Search 2 years ago at I/O to help you explore concepts visually up close and in your space. You might remember the shark that joined us on stage. Last year, when many of us first started sheltering in place, families around the world found joy in AR. From tigers to cars, people interacted with this feature more than 200 million times. Now, we're bringing some of the world's best athletes to AR so you can see how they perform some of their most impressive feats right in front of you. Beginning today, you can see how Megan Rapinoe juggles a soccer ball or how Naomi Osaka pulls off a 125-mile-per-hour serve. You can even see Simone Biles land one of the most difficult combinations ever completed. We recently caught up with Simone to get her reaction to the AR version of herself. Let's take a look.
So first you're gonna go to Google search.
Google search.
And search yourself.
Okay, Simone Biles in 3D.
And then you're gonna view in your space.
You gotta scan the floor. So let's scan the area. Ooh, and she's here.
That's yourself.
Oh my gosh. She goes for the triple-double. This is very accurate. I see all the details that I need to get back in the gym and work on.
Nails it.
That one, yeah. Simone Biles double-double dismount. Pops up anywhere.
Wow, look at that.
Let's turn her so we can see it from the front.
It sounds just like you're in the arena.
Let's go down to 5%, little one.
Oh,
there she is.
Itsy Bitsy Biles. That's the smallest triple-double I've ever seen.
We need to start competing in AR. It's much simpler. Saves the nerves.
No matter how many times I see that, I still think it's pretty incredible. Innovations like MUM, Lens, and AR are part of our quest to make information more helpful. But information is only helpful if it's trustworthy and reliable. The world is constantly changing. Getting access to reliable information is particularly critical during times like the pandemic or breaking news. It's in these moments and so many others that people turn to Google. At our foundation, we design our ranking systems to prioritize high-quality content. And for critical topics like COVID, we elevate information from expert sources. People come to Google to evaluate claims they've heard, whether that's in conversations with friends or something they read about online. Over the past year, searches for, is it true that, were even higher than how to bake bread. And that's saying something given last year's sourdough craze. We're building features that make it easier for you to evaluate the credibility of information right in Google search. One of the ways we're doing this is with About This Result, a feature we launched earlier this year that makes it easier to check the source. Just tap the 3 dots next to the search result to see the details about the website, including its description, when it was first indexed, and whether your connection to the site is secure. This context is especially important if it's a site you haven't heard of and want to learn more about it. This month, we'll start rolling out About This Result to all English results worldwide, with more languages to come. And later this year, we're going to add even more detail, like how the site describes itself, what other sources are saying about it, and related articles to check out. This is part of our ongoing commitment to provide you with the highest quality of results and help you evaluate information online. When we understand information, we can make it more helpful to you. whether that be information on the web, from your camera, or from the billions of places in the physical world. And to hear more about how AI is powering our most helpful map ever, here's Liz.
Thanks, Prabhakar. We're constantly working on new features to make maps more helpful for the more than 1 billion of you who use it every month. Advances in AI are helping us reimagine what a map can be. This year alone, we're on track to release more than 100 AI-driven improvements to give people richer and more contextual information about the world around them. Let me share just a few examples. We've seen how helpful AR can be to see how athletes perform their most impressive feats. 3 years ago, with Live View in Google Maps, we were the first ones to use AR at scale to help see where to go, with signs and arrows overlaid on the real world. Today, we're still the only company who has AR navigation in maps in more than 100 countries, from big cities to rural towns. So far, though, Live View has been focused on navigation to help you easily get from point A to point B. But now you can also use it to explore the world around you. You'll be able to access Live View right from the map and instantly see details about the shops and the restaurants around you, including how busy they are, recent reviews, and photos of those popular dishes. This is possible because we match what your camera sees, with millions of businesses sharing rich information on Google Maps. In addition, there are a host of new features coming to Live View later this year. First, we're adding prominent virtual street signs to help you navigate those complex intersections. Second, we'll point you towards key landmarks and places that are important for you, like the direction of your hotel. Third, we're bringing it indoors to help you get around some of the hardest to navigate buildings, like airports, transit stations, and malls. Indoor Live View will start rolling out in top train stations and airports in Zurich this week and will come to Tokyo next month. But AR isn't the only way we're bringing a whole new level of richness to Google Maps. We've heard from many of you that you'd like to have more granular information about your surrounding. That's why we're bringing you the most detailed street maps we've ever made. Take this image of Columbus Circle, one of the most complicated intersections in Manhattan. You can now see where the sidewalks, the crosswalks, the pedestrian islands are. Something that might be incredibly helpful if you're taking young children out on a walk, or absolutely essential if you're using a wheelchair. Thanks to our application of advanced AI technology on robust street view and aerial imagery, we're on track to launch detailed street maps in 50 new cities by the end of the year. Having access to rich information is useful, but it can also become overwhelming. So we're making the map more dynamic and more tailored, highlighting the most relevant information exactly when you need it. If it's 8 a.m. on a weekday, we'll display the coffee shops and bakeries more prominently in the map. While at 5 p.m., we'll highlight the dinner restaurants that match your tastes. You can see which places you've been to and get more suggestions for similar spots with just a single tap. And if you're in a new city, we'll make it easier to find those local landmarks and tourist attractions right on the map. You'll start seeing this more tailored map in the coming weeks. And as you're planning your day, people have found it really useful, especially during this pandemic, to see how busy a place is before heading out. Now we're expanding this capability from specific places, like restaurants and shops, to neighborhoods with a feature called Area Busyness. Say you're in Rome and want to head over to the Spanish Steps and its nearby shops. With Area Busyness, you'll be able to understand at a glance if it's the right time for you to go, based on how busy that part of the city is in real time. And as you heard before, we use our industry-leading differential privacy techniques to protect anonymity in this feature. Area Busyness will roll out globally in the coming months. So that was a lot. To recap, we are expanding our Live View capabilities, making maps more detailed, and tailored in showing you how busy certain areas are to help you make sense of the world all around you. All of this is possible because of our deep, deep commitment for over 16 years to build the world's most helpful map for people everywhere. That means mapping roads across more than 60 million kilometers, listing more than 1 billion buildings, creating a community of over 150 million local guides, and finally, applying the most advanced AI technology, all so you can have the most accurate, comprehensive, and detailed map wherever you live in the world, on any device, Android or iOS. Access to rich information is crucial, whether you're exploring a new neighborhood or trying to get things done. And over the past year, that's increasingly meant turning to Google to help you shop. To tell you more about how we're making it easier to shop online, from inspiration to action, here's Bill.
Thanks, Liz. You've already heard how we're innovating to understand information and make it more helpful for you. We're doing this in a big way for shopping. More than 1 billion times a day, people are shopping across Google. And we're constantly working to make that experience better, whether you're browsing for inspiration or ready to buy. Now, let's talk about all of the ways we're innovating in shopping. Many of you are familiar with our Knowledge Graph, which revolutionized structured information about people, places, and things. We're now introducing the Shopping Graph, our most comprehensive data set for billions of products and the merchants that sell them. Building on the Knowledge Graph, the Shopping Graph brings together information from websites, prices, reviews, videos, and most importantly, the product data we receive from brands and retailers directly. Because the Shopping Graph knows about so many products, we can connect users with over 24 billion listings to buy those items from millions of merchants across the web, helping you find more of what you're looking for from a broader range of sellers, and giving you just as much or more choice in the digital world as you have in the physical world. The best part is that the Shopping Graph spans across Google, making it easier to go from inspiration to purchase no matter where you are. Let's see how this comes to life across shopping moments, from Lens to Search, Photos, YouTube, and Chrome. As we all know, shopping inspiration often strikes when we see something we like in the world around us. And for these moments, Google Lens is awesome. It turns the world into your own personal showroom. For example, I was eating outside at a restaurant recently and really liked their patio furniture. So I opened my Google app, and right from the search bar, I could use Lens to find the exact set I was looking for, and similar items too. I showed the patio set to my daughter, but she didn't love it. So it was back to the drawing board. We did a bit more browsing together, starting with the Google Images tab on Search, where we see hundreds of millions of shopping searches each month. Thanks to the Shopping Graph, we could explore options from across the web to find what we liked, see that it was in stock, and check out with the retailer. I have this habit though. I'm constantly taking screenshots of products I like, but they usually end up buried in my photos. Here's one I've saved for a pair of sneakers I saw. But now, to solve for this, when you view any screenshots in Google Photos, there'll be a suggestion to search the photo with Lens. You'll see organic search results that can help you find that pair of shoes or browse similar styles. Then, once you have ideas, you probably want to do some research and might end up on YouTube. Earlier this year, we shared that we're building a new experience to make it easier to shop products you learn about from your favorite YouTube creators. That experience is in pilot now, so stay tuned for updates. And since we're talking about researching, I don't know about you, but I often jump around from site to site when I'm comparing products. And if I get distracted or close any tabs, it can be hard to keep track of items I've found. Soon on Chrome, when you open a new tab, you'll be able to see your open carts from the past couple of weeks. For example, I'm reminded that I've still got a shirt in my Tentree cart and a few things in my Lowe's cart. We'll also find you promotions and discounts for your open carts if you choose to opt in. Here I can see Electronic Express is offering 10% off. Your personal information and what's in your carts are never shared with anyone externally without your permission. Now,
Once you're done researching and are ready to buy, we also want to help you get the best value. Coming soon, we'll use your favorite loyalty programs from merchants like Sephora and Target to show you the best purchase options. In this example, since you're a Sephora Beauty Insider, you already qualify for a promotion. And if you're not ready to buy, you can opt in for price drop notifications. Taking a step back, these experiences are only possible because of our vibrant community of retailers on Google. We're proud to take an open ecosystem approach that helps any merchant, both big and small, get discovered. And that gives you more shopping choices. This has been more important than ever in what's been a tough time for businesses. That's why this past year, we accelerated our plans and made it free for merchants to sell their products across Google. Since then, we've seen an 80% increase in merchants on Google, with the vast majority being small and medium-sized businesses. And today, we're making it easier than ever for merchants of all sizes to get on Google. Together with Shopify, we're excited to launch a seamless integration so that the more than 1.7 million merchants on Shopify can reach more consumers in a matter of minutes. With just a few clicks, these retailers can sign up to appear across Google's 1 billion shopping journeys each day. From search to maps, images to Lens and YouTube. We believe you deserve the most choice available, and will continue to innovate on shopping along every step of the way. So far, you've heard many of the ways we're using AI to make information more useful for you. AI can also help us revisit our favorite memories and moments, especially this past year when many of us have been feeling nostalgic. To talk about new innovations in Google Photos, here's Shimrit.
Thanks, Bill. It's great to be back on campus talking with you all about Google Photos. We capture photos and videos so we can look back and remember. They help us feel connected. And today, there are more than 4 trillion photos and videos stored in Google Photos. But having so many photos of loved ones, screenshots, selfies, all stored together makes it hard to rediscover the important moments. In fact, the vast majority of photos in Google Photos are never viewed. And we've heard from you how powerful it is to rediscover a memory that helps you tell your story and reconnect. So today, I want to show you new features that use AI to resurface meaningful moments and bring your memories to life, all while giving you more control so you can choose what you want to relive. Soon, we're launching a new way to look back that we're calling Little Patterns. Little patterns show the magic in everyday moments by identifying not so obvious moments and resurfacing them to you. I'll show you how this works. This feature uses machine learning to translate photos into a series of numbers and then compares how visually or conceptually